just rounding up with our two amazing legal eagles on both sides of the pond, Joseph Kotrie-Monson in the UK, Mark Schnapp in the US. I'm asking you, both of you, what are some of the craziest lawsuits you've ever heard about, turned down, or even perhaps reluctantly been involved with? Let's start with you, Mark.
First, Trisha, let me thank you and wish you good luck. I really appreciate the opportunity to have been on your show. All right, I think I have one that's going to be hard to top. I was asked to represent a West African citizen of the Gambia, and he was charged with and prosecuted for the illegal export of a demilitarized Vietnam-era helicopter to the Gambia by bribing a U.S. customs inspector. Now, the background of this is the guy, I don't know if people over in the UK ever saw the money coming to America, but when he would just see people in the street, give them $10,000, he would, for example, this happened all the time when he was here out on bond, or his first set of lawyers, he gave them each Mercedes and Jaguars, wrapped up in a bow. This is crazy stuff. Anyway, nobody really knew the source of his money. And there were a lot of people who were hanging around him trying to get money from him the entire time they were there. Now, when I came into the picture, I wound up, I got a judge to release him on and allow him to serve the home confinement portion of the sentence in his home country, which was, in fact, at that point was Mali, which he did, or I'm sorry, the Gambia, which he did do. And I went with him there. En route to the Gambia, several things happened. Number one, he took me to meet the leader for life of Togo, which was, and when I went there, the guy wanted me to, I have no idea what I was doing there, let alone nobody knew I was there. I asked, he says, I need your help. And I said, what do you need me to do? The guy says, well, I need you to help me. We're thinking of having an election. Well, what he really meant was I wanted me to help him fix an election, which of course I didn't do. The other thing that happened is the same client wanted me to go meet Muammar Gaddafi. Now I'm trying to think, how in the world am I going to explain to my law firm, right, which is Greenberg Traurig, sort of primarily Jewish law firm, that Muammar Gaddafi is going to become a client, which of course that never happened. But I would say that there was a lot more stuff that happened, but I think we're a little limited in time. And I'm going to give Joseph.
My God, yeah, let's throw that at Joseph. Joseph, I mean, wow, what's your craziest story as a lawyer?
Well, Trisha, here we go. So over the years, I've done some interesting stuff. Did the Cambridge Analytica case. That was fun. US election fixing and Facebook and all that stuff. I'm doing the Grenfell case. It's probably the privilege of my life. It's a case of tremendous public importance. And no matter what anyone says about my client, me and my colleagues at Monson Solicitors, we'll break our backs to make sure that he's treated fairly. But, I really enjoyed over the last couple of years, some of the way that we've talked almost as if, tried to make law something that is fun and accessible and interesting, and really talk to people at home, and you and I have our conversations as if this stuff isn't all kind of mystical and inaccessible and intimidating and 7-syllable words and Latin, but stuff that's about our lives. And, as old Sir John Mortimer, who wrote the Rumpole books, once said, you don't need any great intelligence for a successful life in law, just common sense and clean fingernails. Well, and I think hopefully I've got half of that, although it depends on what day, which half I've got. But we've had our fun little law lessons where we've kind of gone back to law school, you and I. And I thought I'd actually reach into the past a little bit and talk about probably the case that every law student remembers. But actually, it's the most important case affecting, or one of the most important cases affecting all of our lives and the safety of our lives as citizens that most of us have never bloody heard of. And it's the 1932 House of Lords. That's what the Supreme Court used to be called, House of Lords case of Donoghue and Stephen. Trisha, let me ask you, what does a snail in a bottle have to do with protecting our safety? Well, actually, it's the basis in UK law of our modern principle of liability for being negligent. And that liability you have if you damage somebody else or harm somebody else with your negligence. And that principle really protects the public. It's the basis of health and safety law. And you get all these people saying, oh, health and safety, it's a load of nonsense.
We're running out of time, Joseph. We're running out of time. Quick. I've got to hear the
Snail in a bottle. She ended up eating it. She got sick. The lawyers did it for free. And as a result, companies who create products have to make sure they're safe. And it exists in every part of our lives. God bless that woman from Paisley, Scotland.